قل هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة أنا ومن اتبعني وسبحان الله وما أنا من المشركين.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وأصلي وأسلم على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهديه واستنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to this new live episode of Ask Zad, coming to you every Saturday after Maghrib prayer in Mecca region. As usual, we will take 3 of your questions from the emails, and then we will take your direct questions online, inshallah, or directly from Zoom. Ruqayya says, what should we say before taking medicine? Bismillah, or should we say Allahu Shafi, Allahu Al-Kafi? Ruqayya, there isn't any specific dua that was prescribed to us by our Prophet ﷺ to be said before taking any medication. So the default is that before taking any medication, you simply say Bismillah, and that is it. You don't have to add anything to it. You don't have to supplicate. You don't have to offer salutation upon the Prophet ﷺ, as many people do. All of this is not from the Sunnah, and hence it would not be advisable. Aisha says, can we keep hamsters as pets? The Prophet ﷺ instructed us to kill 5 types of animals, whether we find them in the hill area, which is out of the haram, or inside the haram. And he also ordered us in different hadith to kill mice, because a mouse is a type of an animal that is evil by nature, and it carries a lot of diseases, and the plague is one of them among others, and it's known to be destructive and with evil intent. Even it may take a piece of thread and get it burnt from, or set it on fire from a candle or fire in the house, and take that thread and burn the whole house with it. So mice are evil, and we are ordered in Islam to kill them. A hamster is very similar to mice. It looks like mice, and as they say, it's about 86 to 90 species of mice that are found there. So a hamster is a rodent, and it falls under the same category of mice, and hence it is not permissible to keep them as pets, because of the instruction of the Prophet ﷺ to kill them wherever we find them and to dispose of them. Ali, and his final question is applying kuhul or surma from the Sunnah for men? Applying kuhul is part of the Sunnah. The Prophet ﷺ instructed his ummah to apply kuhul, which is made from a specific type of stone, ingredients called ithmid, and he said that it strengthens your eyesight and it helps to grow the hair in your eyelashes. And the Prophet ﷺ used to apply it every night, 3 times to the right eye and 3 times to the left eye. So Is it an established sunnah? No doubt it is an established sunnah. However, some scholars seem to have made a condition, and that is, it's a sunnah when being applied to strengthen your vision and also to help grow your eyelashes. It's a sunnah of beautification for women. But when it comes to men, some scholars beg to differ in considering it to be a sunnah, if that applying it would add beauty to the boy to the extent that he would attract the same gender, not the opposite gender. But this is something hypothetical. Secondly, it has no limits. So we cannot assume the worst in people and say, oh, just because my colleague at work would be tempted by me if I put an eyeliner, excuse me, why would I assume the worst in him? Said, because people are different. No, no. Same gender. We're both men. Applying kuhl would not help tempt him or seduce him. Otherwise, wearing nice looking clothes or combing my hair in a certain way if I had hair, or looking handsome would also be questionable, which is not. So this is a bit extreme, and hence it is no problem in applying kuhl as a form of sunnah for both men and women, insha'Allah azza wa jal. We go on to your questions, and the first caller is CD from Germany.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salam wa rahmatullah.
How are you, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillah, getting old.
Sheikh, if a family doesn't know the Wi-Fi code and they can't find it nowhere, so they can't find it.
Find
but
what?
There's a family, the Wi-Fi code.
The what?
The Wi-Fi code.
The Wi-Fi code, okay.
Yes, and they can't find it nowhere. But there's a family member, he knows it. So the parents ask him for the Wi-Fi code. But this person is worried because he knows that they most likely watch haram content through the internet because he lives with them. So is it permissible for him to give them the Wi-Fi code? And will he not be accountable or not, even though he gets trouble with his parents?
Okay, I will answer inshallah. Abdul Aziz from Sri Lanka.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salam wa rahmatullah.
How are you, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Sheikh, today my question is, I have gone to the doctors and psychiatrists, and I was having problems with sleep, and so I was prescribed this Prozac and some sleep medications, and I was doing well with my sleep after I started taking them, but once I stopped them, once even the doctor thinks that I should be stopping it, I go back to the insomnia again. I have tried all various types of medications and many other things to sleep, but unfortunately I have the insomnia. Anything Islamically I can do to treat insomnia?
Okay, I will answer inshallah. Abdul Rafi' from Australia.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Is it a bid'ah to put dhikr and salutations upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, such as Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina Muhammad on YouTube, and to read alongside with it? Would this be considered congregational dhikr? Jazakallah.
I don't understand. What do you mean by putting it on YouTube? So it's just my voice on a clip of half a minute saying Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala nabiyyina Muhammad?
No, so like anyone is reciting it and then you're reciting alongside it.
Okay. I will answer inshallah. Muhammad from the Philippines.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salamatullah.
So my question, Sheikh, is, Sheikh, are we sinful if we do not utilize our time properly, or if in our free time we do not do anything?
I do not understand a word. When you speak, I would urge you to speak slowly, please.
Oh, sorry, Sheikh. So my question, Sheikh, are we sinful if we do not utilize our time properly and in our free time we do not do anything?
If you do not utilize what?
Our time, Sheikh.
Okay.
Are we sinful, Sheikh?
Okay, I will answer inshallah. And we have Layla from Pakistan.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salam wa rahmatullah.
Sheikh, my question is that can a woman wear jeans or can a woman wear short shirts, like not too short, and loose trousers in front of just their mahrams? Is it permissible?
Can you describe such shirts?
Not too short, full sleeve.
يعني director, to half your arm, like a t-shirt?
Yeah.
Okay, I will answer inshallah. And we have Akbar from India.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salam wa rahmatullah.
Sheikh, is it necessary to concentrate on the meaning of zikr to get the full reward? Can I make zikr listening to someone else or something else?
I will answer inshallah. Binyamin from the UK. Binyamin. Binyamin from the UK. Fawzan from Indonesia.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salamullah.
My family have a deal with a laundry service. The deal is they will wash a person's clothes for $5 a month. I have five family members, so it becomes $25 per month. The problem is they don't give us any fixed weight quota of the dirty clothes that they will wash for us. But instead, they use estimation about the total numbers of clothes that a person usually wear every month. So every time they come to take and clear our clothes, we give them unfixed amounts of clothes with quite big difference, like sometimes 5 kilo, 8 kilograms, and sometimes none. Is this considered as garar and haram? As garar and haram? Please your answer and explanation regarding the rule of thumb of garar transaction. Yeah.
I will answer inshallah. Latifa from the US.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So my question is, a person was praying alone and doing his last tashahhud. He got confused in the tahiyyat. So he got confused whether to say wa ala ibadillahi salihin or wa ala ibadillahi salihin. So he goes with the ibadillahi salihin, and after salah he found out that it's actually wa ala ibadillahi salihin. So how do you think this person should fix his mistake, and do you think doing sujood as-sahwi will fix that mistake?
Okay, I will answer inshallah. Al-Aqil from India.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Salamullah barakatuh.
Sheikh, my question is regarding stock market investment. So I've heard that we can invest in the stocks which fulfill 3 conditions, like their business should be halal and they should not be financed by riba, and they invest their profits in, they does not invest their profit in riba-based investment. So I have also read somewhere that up to 30% or 1/3 of their financing can be from riba and it's permissible. So I wanted to know what is the percentage that a company can have in riba?
I will answer inshallah. Yaqub from China.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. How are you?
Salamullah barakatuh.
Yeah, how are you, Sheikh? May Allah bless you, Sheikh.
Alhamdulillah, barakallah feek, Yaqub. What can I do for you, my friend?
Yeah. Sheikh, my question is regarding the prayer. For example, Sheikh, if you're praying Fajr and reciting Surah Al-Baqarah, can someone recite like Ayatul Kursi in the first rakah, and then in the next rakah, instead of continuing the next verse like Rafidin, then you jump to Amar Rasul, the last chapter? Can you do that?
Okay.
Or you have to recite in order?
I will answer inshallah. And we have Fahim from the Emirates.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, should I fill the gap if the person next to me is standing in the row, he just left the prayer when the Imam is praying. And what if he is in the front? Should I move? And now with social distance, should I take the? If I take my prayer mat, will my prayer breaks? Like if I bow and take that and go front, should I do that?
Okay, I will answer inshallah. Amjad from India.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Alaikum assalam.
Sheikh, there is a dua called Dua of Noor. And this is a long dua, but I am telling you in short. The dua is Allahumma shfi qalbi noora, wa fi lisani noora, wa fi sam'i noora, wa fi basari noora, wa min fawqi noora, wa min tahti noora. So my question is this dua authentic? And if it's authentic, then what is the proper way of reading it? And if I read this dua, will I get noor on my face and body?
Okay, I will answer inshallah. And we have Fuad from Bangladesh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear Fadilatul Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear viewer.
How are you, ya Sheikh?
I am doing great, alhamdulillah.
Sheikh, my question is, if a person know that he will stay in a place for more than 4 days, in this case, will he be able to perform Salatul Qasr there? Barakallahu fi hayatik.
Wa fiq barakallah. Nawaf from Indonesia, or Naufal from Indonesia.
Assalamualaikum, Sheikh.
Salamullah.
I want to ask, because there are different opinions regarding these topics, I want to know what are the arkanul, wajibat, and sunnah of salah right according to you, Sheikh. Please just mention it completely and sequentially in numerical order, so I can make a short and complete list about this topic. Thank you, Sheikh.
Hayyak Allah. Halima from Nigeria.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Yeah, I have a question. Is the shadda in Arabic language compulsory while reading Quran and making dua and dhikr, etc.?
This is too generic, Halima, because we have to know what shadda, where exactly, and whether it changes the meaning of or not. Generally speaking, yes, it is mandatory because it's part of the word itself. Allah, there's a shadda on the lam. So if you don't put it and say Allah, the name is different, and this is not Allah's name, and the ayah is different. If someone says Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, this is distorting the Quran. He has to say Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. So you have to be specific, and I hope this answers your question. Rashad from Tunisia. Rashad. Berviz from India.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salamullah.
How are you, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillah.
Sheikh, I'm asking this question on behalf of someone. Sheikh, his question is, all the people at Qatar follow the official timetable. It's all good and accurate except Fajr. The time of the Fajr follows that of Fajr al-Kazib. Fajr al-Siddiq starts after 30 minutes from the first azan. I had my friend check it earlier in his place and confirmed it. So all the masjid doesn't pray Fajr right. And my question to you is, what is it that I should do?
Where are you?
So I'm in India.
How did you check it?
Actually, Sheikh, a brother from this participant told me.
A brother from?
So this Zoom meeting.
Okay. Muhammad from India.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salamullah.
Sheikh, there are the adhkar after salah. So we have some dhikr after Maghrib salah, for example. If someone does not recite that and recites some other general dhikr, is this bid'ah or is this permissible?
Okay, I will answer, inshallah. And Rivan from Saudi.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh.
Assalamu wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, is it okay to pray Jummah Salah in an open place?
What do you mean by open place?
You mean we are gathering for that same place we can use to do the Jummah prayer, or we have to go to the masjid?
And what's the reason of skipping it in the masjid?
Community. For that time we are using for our language. So it is okay.
So it's not something mandatory, just it's more convenient that you skip the Jum'ah in the masjid and pray it in the hall or in an open area.
Exactly.
Okay, I will answer inshallah. And Muhammad from the Emirates.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Assalamu wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, my question is, my parents sometimes they get upset when we keep the sufra and the food waiting. They say that the sufra is in the hands of malaika, and it's haram that we keep them waiting, and the barakah will go away from the food. And I want to know if that is true or not.
Okay, I will answer inshallah. And I think we have the last caller is Yusuf from the Netherlands. Yusuf? Saad from Qatar.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Assalamu wa barakatuh.
I'm asking on behalf of Akbar from India.
Okay.
He says here, let me see. Yes, he says, can we risk our life to save others? If yes, to what extent? That's
Okay, I will answer inshallah. We have a short break, and if we've managed to finish all of these questions and there's enough time, we will take other callers as well who are waiting. Stay tuned, and inshallah we'll be right back.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today I'm going to talk about the book Interactions of the Greatest Leader. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam reminded us through his guidance and example that Islam is complete submission to the will of Allah. For one who submits, a mere declaration or display of belief will not be taken for success, but his or her heart and soul will certainly be put to test. Allah tested the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam severely in order that he sallallahu alaihi wasallam becomes an example for his companions to follow. Similarly, he tests the believer to see whether he lives a righteous life in accordance with the instructions and commands set by Allah, or lives according to what his desires dictate. Whether the faith he displays is firmly rooted in his heart, or is it merely on the surface. He will be tested to see whether he will continue to have faith and love of Allah when in a calamity, as he does when in comfort, whether he will continue to remember and worship him if given bounties and comforts of life, as he does when he lives a modest life. Allah will undoubtedly test him to see if his faith, trust and love of him is unconditional, or is it conditioned upon good health and a comfortable life, free from stress and anxiety. The Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam showed us through his own example that for a righteous Muslim, this life is a testing ground where he will continue to be tested until he meets Allah. For him, tests will be conducted on earth while he lives, and not after he dies. He knows that as soon as death arrives and he steps into the next world, his tests are over. There, he only receives the result of his tests and enjoys the fruits of the deeds that he committed during a short span of time called life.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and welcome back. CD from Germany says, someone knows the Wi-Fi password. It's not his house. Yet the people in the house had forgotten the password. So he's the only one who knows it. Yet he is hesitant to expose it and to tell them about it because he's afraid that they might use it in haram. So what should he do? Akhi, you're not the moral police. It is none of your business what they use it for. It's not yours. And Allah has not appointed you to be guardian over them. Definitely, they will not use it all for haram. There are students who will use it to check their homeworks or to attend online classes. There are businessmen. There are people sending emails. Yes, occasionally they may watch a movie or listen to a song, but this is not under your watch. This is not under your control. So I see no problem in revealing the password at all. Abdul Aziz from Sri Lanka. He says he's got problems with insomnia. So he doesn't sleep. He took medication, Prozac, but I think Prozac is for depression, but whatever. And he was well for a period of time. Then he stopped it. And this is a common mistake a lot of the people, the patients, do. You must not quit such medication on your own, especially medication given to mental patients or by psychiatrists or psychologists or whatever. You have to gradually leave them bit by bit as per the schedule set by the pharmaceutical companies and by your physician or your doctor. You should not just say, I'm going to quit. This is very dangerous. So now he cannot sleep. And he says, is there anything in Islam to help in this? To my knowledge, there isn't. But also to my knowledge, I know through experience and fact that usually insomnia is caused by either mental pressure, things that occupy your mind, or due to physical problems. The physical problems are solved with medical doctors. They will make their checkups and say that you have a deficiency in this or that, and they will supplement it, hopefully. But when you have a lot of things cooking up here, this is when you tend to get insomnia. And one of the best cures for all of your stress, depression, anxiety, fear, is to believe in Allah Azza wa Jal. And everybody says, Sheikh, we all believe in Allah. We all pray and fast. Akhi, we all practice Islam. And I always ask my patients that come to me in counseling sessions, and I'm shocked by the answer, because 1 out of every 30 managed to successfully answer it. I ask people, after they tell me their problems, do you know the 6 pillars of Iman? Yeah, of course, Sheikh. The kalima, prayer, fasting, hajj, zakat. I said, these are 5. I said, I don't know. These are 5 pillars of Islam. I'm talking about the 6 pillars of Iman. And they say, oh, no, I don't know those. And I said, subhanallah, the essence of your religion is based on these pillars, as in the hadith of Jibreel. So you know the 5 pillars of Islam, which generally speaking, everybody knows it and shares it. Everybody does it. They're Muslim, but on the surface, we can judge them. What's deep inside is your aqeedah, is the essence of your religion, the 6 pillars of Iman. To believe in Allah Azza wa Jal, the Day of Judgment, to believe in the angels, to believe in the prophets and messengers, to believe in the scriptures, and to believe in predestiny, the divine decree, whether good or bad. This one we have a deficiency in. If you trust Allah, if you believe in Allah, if you surrender all your affairs to Allah Azza wa Jal, knowing that everything was predestined 50,000 years before Allah created the creation, before Allah created the universe. 50,000 years before that, everything was written down and done with. So it's written in the preserved tablet that I, Asim, will drop the pen at this specific date, this specific hour, this specific second. Exactly. It's written. If, may Allah preserve us, the light should fall upon my head and kill me, it's written. Should I have anxiety saying, okay, I think I'm going to move a little bit, I don't know what's going to happen? No, because it's going to happen when it's going to happen. You cannot evade that. You cannot avoid it. You cannot escape it. When you have this belief, when you have this content of whatever is to happen will happen, you will not have any anxieties. You will not have any fears. You will not have any worries or stress. Your rizq has been registered 50,000 years before Allah created the universe. It's going to come to you. No one can stop it. No one can increase it. No one can decrease it. So why worry? Why do you worry about your job? Why do you worry about the health of your child? Yes, we're humans. We grieve. We may be saddened. We may be a bit worried. But look at the Prophet ﷺ and Abu Bakr when they were in the cave while migrating from Mecca to Medina. And the idol worshippers and the soldiers and the enemy forces were right on top of them. Abu Bakr said, Prophet of Allah, if one of them were to look under his feet, he would see us. What did the Prophet say, ﷺ? Oh, you're right, Abu Bakr, what can we do? No. The Prophet said, ﷺ, Abu Bakr, what do you think of two? Their third is Allah Azza wa Jal. Look at this iman. Look at this confidence. This is content. This is tranquility thrown in the hearts of a believer. And it's a very high level. You can get there easily, but you have to work. You have to open your eyes. You have to know your religion. You have to know Allah Azza wa Jal. And wallahi, you will have no problems after that, bi'idhnillah Azza wa Jal. Abdul Rafi' from Australia. So can I record a clip on YouTube or hear a clip on YouTube or any other platform where someone repeats the prayer and salutation upon the Prophet ﷺ? I repeat with him. No problem in that. This is a form of dhikr. So if you do it on your own, that's much better. But if you listen to it to remind you and you repeat after it, it seems to be okay. Muhammad from the Philippines. How can we utilize time? And would it be sinful if we waste time? As of wasting time, indeed you will be sinful for that. But this is something that's relative, because we know that we are permitted to use some of our time to refresh and to entertain ourselves. But if it exceeds the limit, and exceeding the limit might be defined as not fulfilling your obligations, or falling into haram, or leaving things you're supposed to do. In this case, yes, you are sinful. The Prophet ﷺ told us that the feet of the son of Adam would not move on the day of judgment until he's questioned. About what? About his life, where he had spent it. About his youth, where he has wasted it. So your life is your time. Where did you spend it? Was it on haram things, watching haram things, acting in haram? Or was it utilized in halal things and learning religion and beneficial things? Or it was in between, doing halal things such as playing sports or sitting and playing with your siblings or with your children, etc. All of this you are going to be questioned about. Layla says, can we wear t-shirts in front of our mahram, siblings, father, parents, etc.? Yes, there's no problem. A woman can wear a t-shirt that has half a sleeve in front of her mahram men. Akbar from India says, do we need to focus on dhikr in order to get the full reward? The answer is definitely. There are two types of dhikr. Dhikr, which done by the collaboration of the heart and the tongue. So whenever you say Subhanallah, you're glorifying Allah Azza wa Jal and purifying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from whatever is not befitting for Him Azza wa Jal. So both synchronized, the heart and the tongue. And the second type of dhikr is the dhikr done by the tongue alone. So you see people saying Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allah Akbar, La ilaha illallah, and their minds are somewhere else, thinking about the grocery list, thinking about work, thinking about what they're studying or doing, but they're making dhikr. They're rewarded, but definitely not as much and as full as the first one. Fauzan from Indonesia, he says we have an agreement with a laundry shop where we give them a fixed amount of money in return of the month's laundry. But this is not specific. This is variable. So they give an estimate of the number of pieces of cloth that a family usually gets, and they say, okay, we'll take $5 for that. So is there any gharar? Is there any ambiguity? The answer is yes. There is clear ambiguity. Such transaction is not permissible, especially if I, as a person, have such a contract and I get my friend's laundry, my neighbor's laundry, my relative's laundry, and put it under my name for this $5. While another person has only himself and his wife, and they pay the same amount with far, far less number of pieces. You say, okay, Sheikh, he's okay with that. Yeah, but this is gharar, this is ambiguity, this is cheating, because he may gain and he may lose. And this is not permissible in Islam. As the same concept of, I tell you, put your hand in my pocket. Whatever you find in it, it's for €1. You may find 500 reals, you may find a gold chain, and you may find a piece of paper, worthless. This is your luck. No, this is a form of gambling and a form of risk that Islam does not advocate or permit. Latifa says, if I make a mistake in ibadillahi salihin or ibadillahi salihin, this is in Arabic called tafkhim al-tarqiq of the letter al-lam. So lafdul jalala, Allah, if what's before it is with a kasra, then you say ibadillah. This is muraqqaqa. And making a mistake in it does not invalidate or impact your prayer. So whether you say ibadillahi or ibadillahi, it is still valid and correct. Aqil from India says, some scholars say that it is exempted, it is permissible to deal with stocks that have less than 30% of haram transactions in it. I've said this before. I don't know where they got this percentage from. To my knowledge, there isn't anything that allows this in Sharia. And hence, when you buy stocks of a particular company, you're a partner. Whether it's below 30% or above 30%. If they deal in intoxicants or riba or prostitution or whatever haram things they're dealing, you can't say that, well, this is only less than 30%, it's okay. It's only 5%, it's okay. No, it's not okay. You're a partner. And Allah will hold you accountable as a partner for dealing in such things. And Allah knows best. Yaqub from China, he says, can we read in the first ayah, in the first rak'ah of Fajr, Ayatul Kursi, and then jump like 30 verses to the end of Surah Al-Baqarah and read or recite the last 2 verses? There's no problem in that, none whatsoever. There's nothing binding you to recite them in a sequence. So you can leave a gap, you can jump entire surahs and read other surahs after that. Fahim from the Emirates, if I'm praying in the masjid and the one next to me discovers that he's not in wudu and he leaves the prayer, so there's a gap, should I fill it? In normal cases, yes. When there's no social distancing, we would say, yes, fill it. And how to fill it? It depends. If you are to the right of the imam and he's to your left, you get closer to the imam. But if he's to your right, which means further to the imam, you don't go further from the imam. So either way, you have to get closer to the imam to fill up the gap. Otherwise, you don't. You just stay where you are. If I have a prayer mat in front of me, can I bend down and take it? The answer is no. This is ruku'. And you would be adding something to the prayer. So what to do? Remain where you are. Someone else from the back would come and fill it up, inshallah. Amjad from India says, the dua, Allahumma ij'al li nuran, ij'al li fi qalbi nuran. This is reported in Sahih Imam Muslim from Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, that the Prophet ﷺ, after night prayer and after taking a nap, and then when he went to Fajr, he used to say this in his prayer or is in his sujood. اللهم اجعلني في قلبي نورا وفي لساني نورا وفي بصري نورا وفي سمعي نورا وعن يميني نورا وعن شمالي نورا. All of this. So, is this authentic? It's Sahih Muslim. Definitely it's authentic. What does it mean? Well, it means that grant me guidance, because nur is light and light is guidance. So place in my heart light. Light of what? Do you want it to be illuminated? No. You want the light of guidance. The Quran is light. You want light in your vision to see what's right and wrong. You want to hear what's right and stay away from what's wrong. Etc. So this is what is meant, and Allah knows best. Fuad says, in shortening prayer, some schools of thought say that when you're traveling, you can only shorten your prayer if you're staying less than 4 days. If you intend to stay more than 4 days, you have to complete. And this is one of the opinions in some schools of thought, but it is not the most authentic. And there's nothing backing it up from the Sunnah. And hence, we do not follow that. You may shorten your prayer as long as you are a traveler. So as long as you're labeled as a traveler, you're not settled down, then you can shorten that, and Allah knows best. Naufal says, can you list the pillars, the mandatory acts, and the sunan in salat in sequence and label them? Yeah, I can do that. But definitely not now. Because this is not logical, Naufal. This is a Q&A. It's not a lecture. On YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel, you will find a whole program listing this on the description of the Prophet's prayer, alayhi salatu wasalam. And it's one of the clips, I think it's an hour long, that brothers from Sharjah, may Allah bless them and reward them, invited me to Sharjah to make this episode with questions about prayers and how to do it. And they've done an excellent job for a PR company in a very small room. But they are professionals And I would claim that they had sincerity in their heart. This is why this project was a great success. May Allah reward them for that. So you can watch that and you can find what you want in it. Berviz says, the Fajr has the true Fajr and the false Fajr. And between them there's half an hour. And one of his friends said that he had noticed that the adhans in the masjid are 30 minutes before the true Fajr. And this is, with all due respect, preposterous. Do you want me to falsify the belief of all these people, all these mu'adhins, all the imams, for your friend's comment? This is not logical. And there was this argument regarding the Fajr timing. And some scholars said that it's wrong. The majority said, no, it's right. And we've asked Sheikh Salih Al-Fawzan, may Allah preserve him. And he said that the best timing of Fajr, the most accurate, is Al-Qura. Even Al-Qura, people had criticized. So Sheikh Salih himself went to Rawdat Khazem, an area outside of Riyadh. And he stayed there for 2 nights, observing the true Fajr. And he said it coincided exactly with Al-Qura timing. Therefore, Al-Qura timing for Fajr is the most accurate. Muhammad from India. If someone doesn't read the adhkar of Maghrib or Fajr, the adhkar of evening and morning, and he recites something else, would he be committing an innovation? Of course. What the Prophet prescribed to be recited, the guy says, not interested. I want to recite something else. This is an innovation. And it would have no impact for it, because this is not what it was designed for. Rivan says, we would like to skip praying Friday in the masjid and pray it in an open area, because this is more convenient, because either we're on a picnic or we have a family day with the community. This is not permissible at all. You have to go to the masjid and your prayer is invalid. Muhammad from the Emirates, he says that our parents have this conviction that when we put the food on the table or on the ground, that we should not keep the food there waiting. So the parents shout at their children, come and eat. And everybody is working on their WhatsApp or their Instagram and say, okay, give me 5 minutes. So they want them to come ASAP. So they say to them, no, the angels are angry and the barakah would go, and you cannot postpone the food when it's put on the table or on the sufra, as we call it. Does this have any credibility? The answer is no. This is totally bogus. This is totally baseless. And it's haram to claim this about the angels. And many people do this. When they see a little infant smiling, they say, oh, mashallah, the angels are making him laugh. How do you know? How do you know it's not the devils poking his cheek so that he would smile? This is something of the unseen one should not talk about. Saad from Qatar says, his friend Akbar sent this question, and he says, can we risk our lives to save others? And to what extent? Well, if you're going to risk your life, either you die or not. This is the extent. So can we do this? The answer is no. I'm obliged to save myself first. This is what I'm going to be held accountable for. Sacrificing my life for others is not a very realistic thing, generally speaking. Now, I'm not sure about every case-to-case scenario. But generally speaking, no, you're not allowed to jeopardize your own life to save others, because you're accountable for your own life. They're accountable for their own lives. So don't mix oranges with apples. Yes, it's nice to be brave. It's nice to do things for others, but not to the extent that I would jeopardize my own self, my own safety, the safety of my kids and my family for others, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. This is all the time we have until we meet tomorrow, inshallah, Sunday at 4 o'clock Mecca time. If I am still able to speak, I leave you في أمان الله. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
قل هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة أنا ومن اتبعني وسبحان الله وما أنا من المشركين.